That may have been the worst loss I've ever seen from a Virginia team in football. What's up, guys? Welcome to Who's Cast, the inaugural episode, and it starts with a loss. Uh, this afternoon at 4 o'clock, Virginia kicked off at Illinois, the second part of a home and home series with them. Of course, last year we beat them 48-14 in Scott Stadium. And what happens this year? One of the worst, absolute worst games I have seen from any Virginia football team of any year that I've watched it. An absolute disaster. To start with, the offense. That offense was offensive. It was offensive to me. It was probably offensive to some of the Illinois fans who were watching it along with us, because that was not good. That was not good defense. That was terrible offense. Of course, Illinois made some great defensive plays, some great stops, but a lot of it was just Brennan Armstrong overthrowing passes, underthrowing passes, which was really uncharacteristic of him last year. But the biggest issue with it was the play calling and the offensive line. It's hard to have a balanced offense when your team is not built for rushing. I understand that this is a makeshift year. It's a mix of old 2021 style, where it's super pass heavy, and what Tony Elliott wants to do, which is much more balanced with a lot more runs. But you can't run the football with this offensive line. Last week doesn't count. It was against Richmond. Richmond is outmatched. They're an FCS school. They're not going to have the guys that even, some of the lower tier ACC schools are. So what happens when you go up to the Big Ten, when you play with them big corn boys? I know it's Illinois, not Wisconsin, but still, Big Ten is characterized as having big lines of scrimmage and running the ball a lot. And you know what they did? Their line destroyed our line. What are we supposed to do there? You run offensive plays that your team is not built for. There was a specific tweet that I saw. We were play calling a game with an offensive line that was not built to run the ball like we were play calling it for. What are you supposed to do? What is Paris Jones supposed to do? If his offensive line can't block for him, what is Brennan Armstrong supposed to do if his offensive line can't pass protect? It was frustrating. All right, let's go over the game itself. So, first quarter, second play of Illinois, it's a pick. Great job by the defense. Then, of course, they go back out. We go 3 and out, I believe. And then Illinois gets it in. And what happens there? We force a fumble. Great job. But that fumble, oh my goodness. We can't get any points off it. We were this close to being shut out, because if you remember, on the one field goal that we made all game, the only points we had, it was this close to missing. I mean, I thought it had been blocked and it was going to drop 10 yards from the uprights, but no, we were lucky enough that it actually went in. Oh. What are we supposed to do? I just don't know what a team. Again, it is the beginning of the season. I don't know how good Illinois is, but they haven't had a winning season since 2011. 2011. What? Oh my gosh. I rep the Sabres, the V and the Sabres, all day, every day. But football has just been a disaster. We had one good run in 2019, and really ever since then, you know, ever since then it's just been 500 years, which 500 years are acceptable. If you're at Duke, listen, a 500 year at Kansas or Duke, maybe Vanderbilt in there too. Those are, if you're going 500 every year at those three schools, great job, great job. Those are three incredibly tough schools to recruit to keep people there, especially now with NIL. But Virginia, we can achieve so much more than that. Of course, I'll jokingly say, oh, we're going 15-0 this year. We're winning the national championship. That could happen, but not in the chance is pretty small. We're not an Ohio State. We're not a Bama. We're not a Georgia. We're not a Clemson, and we're not a school like a Michigan or a Florida State or a Florida. Schools like that actually have a realistic shot at a championship in the next decade. I just want to win an ACC title. I've never seen one before by Virginia in football. I would love to see that. I want to see a 10-win ACC title year. That would be my dream. That would be the greatest thing ever. And I have faith in Tony Elliott. I have faith that we're going to get this thing done. But at the same time, losses like this tend to hurt. It did not look like that game did not look like a team that was prepared. Hopefully it's just early season woes and that Tony Elliott and the boys can get it figured out. But I will enter next week's game at home versus Old Dominion a lot more nervously than I did before. I talked so much crap to Virginia Tech fans after that loss. The last thing I need is to lose to Old Dominion at home and them come back and destroy me. Rightfully so. If Virginia loses at home to Old Dominion, rightfully so on the Virginia Tech fans coming in and clowning on me. But all it is pain.